Emotions can be powerful forces in our lives, often dictating how we act and what decisions we make. They can fuel our ambitions, ignite our passions, and provide us with moments of joy and love. But they can also hold us back, trap us in cycles of self-doubt, and lead us down paths that prevent us from reaching our full potential. One of the most critical realizations in life is understanding that your emotions are not the rulers of your destiny. If you allow them to dictate your actions, you will constantly be at the mercy of fleeting feelings that have no real bearing on your true purpose. Think about the last time you felt afraid to take a step forward, whether it was in your career, a relationship, or pursuing a personal goal. That fear, that sense of uncertainty, was driven by emotion. But how often do emotions deceive us? One minute, we feel confident and motivated, ready to conquer anything. The next minute, we are paralyzed by doubt and hesitation. If you allow these emotions to make the decisions for you, you'll find yourself stuck in a loop of inaction, always waiting for the right time or the right feeling to take that first step. But the truth is, waiting for the perfect emotion is a trap. Emotions are temporary. They are not constant, and they don't always reflect the reality of a situation. They are not reliable guides for making important life decisions. The first step in reclaiming your power is to recognize that you are not your emotions. You are not defined by how you feel in a given moment. If you want to achieve success, if you want to break free from the patterns that hold you back, you need to stop letting your feelings decide your actions. Your emotions might tell you to quit, to stop, to hold back, but you have to tell yourself to push through. It's a constant internal battle. Will you let your feelings control you, or will you take control of them? The key to winning that battle is to recognize that your feelings are not permanent, and neither are the obstacles that seem to be standing in your way. Emotions can change in an instant, but your commitment to your goals, your drive to succeed, and your dedication to personal growth must remain constant. The moment you stop allowing your emotions to make the decisions for you is the moment you begin to take control of your life. This is when you start becoming the person you were meant to be. It is not about ignoring your emotions or pretending they don't exist. It's about not letting them dictate your actions, especially when those actions are crucial for your success. In the face of fear, doubt, or laziness, you need to choose action. When your mind tells you that you can't, you have to be the one to tell yourself that you can. When your emotions scream at you to give up, you need to make the conscious decision to keep going. It's in these moments, when everything inside of you is trying to hold you back, that your character is truly built. It's easy to move forward when you feel good, when everything aligns, and when the path is clear. But the real test of who you are and who you are becoming comes when you push through those moments when you don't feel like it. Think about the times when you've been tempted to quit, when the obstacles seemed insurmountable, and when your feelings of frustration, exhaustion, and doubt were overwhelming. Those moments are when the real work begins. It's easy to look at successful people and think that their journey was simple. It's easy to assume that they were always motivated, always confident, always certain of their path. But the reality is far different. Every successful person, every person who has achieved greatness in their life, has had to fight against their emotions. They've had to ignore the voice inside their head that said, "You can't do this," or "You're not good enough." They've had to tell themselves, "I'm going to do it anyway." You too can achieve that same mindset. You can develop the strength to overcome your feelings, to recognize them for what they are: temporary, unreliable signals that don't define your worth or your potential. This means learning to take action even when you don't feel ready. It means deciding to show up for yourself, for your goals, even when every part of you wants to run away and hide. It's important to understand that this isn't about suppressing your emotions. You don't have to ignore the fear or the self-doubt or the frustration. You simply have to put them in their place. Fear, doubt, and laziness may show up, but you don't have to let them lead you. You have the power to say, "Not today," to refuse to let them dictate the course of your life. You can acknowledge them, but you don't have to act on them. Instead, act on your goals, on your vision for your life, and on the commitment you've made to yourself. One of the most significant barriers to success is the habit of allowing emotions to control your behavior. It's a cycle that many people find themselves in, where they wait for motivation or inspiration to strike before they take action. But this approach is flawed because motivation is not something that just appears when you need it. Motivation is a byproduct of action, not the other way around. When you take action, even if it's small, you begin to create momentum. That momentum generates motivation, and it fuels the drive to keep going. But it all starts with you making the decision to act, regardless of how you feel. Success is not reserved for those who feel inspired all the time. It's for those who choose to keep going, even when they don't feel like it. It's for those who make the decision to not let emotions control their behavior. You cannot afford to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect feeling, or the perfect circumstance to take that first step. The perfect moment doesn't exist. All you have is right now. All you have is the power to choose in this moment, to decide that your actions will not be determined by how you feel, but by the life you want to create. The next time your emotions try to hold you back, recognize them for what they are, temporary and unreliable. Take a deep breath, acknowledge them, but refuse to let them control your actions. The choice to keep going, to push through, is always yours. And the more you make that choice, the stronger you become, the more resilient you become, and the closer you get to the person you were always meant to be. Pain is something most people try to avoid. It's uncomfortable, it's heavy, and it challenges us in ways that make us want to retreat back to safety. But here's the truth: pain is not your enemy. Pain is the pathway to growth, to strength, to becoming the person you're meant to be. Every time you experience discomfort, every time you are stretched beyond your limits, you are being given the opportunity to rise above the ordinary and build something extraordinary within yourself. Think about the human body for a moment. When you go to the gym and lift weights, your muscles don't grow by staying comfortable. They grow when they are pushed past their limits, when they tear under the strain, and then repair themselves stronger than before. Without that resistance, without that discomfort, the muscle stays weak and stagnant. The same principle applies to your mind and your spirit. They don't grow when everything is easy, when life hands you comfort, or when you stay inside the boundaries of safety. They grow when they're challenged, when they're pushed, and when they're tested through pain. Most people live their lives trying to run from pain. They avoid difficult conversations, they sidestep challenges, they choose the easier road instead of the harder one, and they convince themselves that comfort is the goal. But comfort doesn't grow you. Comfort doesn't build resilience, character, or courage. It keeps you stuck exactly where you are. If you're not willing to embrace the discomfort, if you're not willing to endure the pain that comes with growth, you'll never see what you're truly capable of. Pain is a test. It will whisper to you that you've had enough, that you should stop, that you can't handle any more. It convinces you that quitting is the smarter choice, that backing away from the struggle will protect you. But that's the lie. Quitting in the face of pain only keeps you small. Pushing through it is what allows you to transform. You've got to make the choice in those moments when everything inside you says to stop. You've got to decide that you're going to keep moving forward, even if it hurts, even if it scares you, even if it feels like the whole world is against you. That decision is where growth happens. Greatness has never been born out of ease. Look at the lives of people you admire most. Athletes, leaders, creators, entrepreneurs. All of them walked through fire to get where they are. They didn't get there by running from pain. They got there by embracing it. They didn't see struggle as a setback. They saw it as the very thing that forged their strength. Pain became the teacher that shaped them into who they were meant to be. Without pain, they wouldn't have the depth, the resilience, or the grit that made them stand out from the crowd. When was the last time you truly leaned into discomfort? When was the last time you did something that scared you, that forced you beyond the limits of what you thought you could handle? If you can't remember, then maybe you've been living too comfortably. Maybe you've been playing small, waiting for life to challenge you instead of seeking the challenge yourself. That's not where greatness is built. Greatness is built in the moments you want to quit, but keep going. It's built in the moments when your legs are tired, your mind is weary, and your heart feels heavy, but you take another step anyway. Pain can feel like a wall, but in reality it's a door. It's the doorway to your potential. On the other side of pain lies your true strength, your deeper capacity, your greatness. Every time you push through it, you're building something inside yourself that no one can take away. You're proving to yourself that you are stronger than the struggle, stronger than the doubt, stronger than the circumstances trying to hold you back. It's easy to mistake pain as punishment, but it's not. It's preparation. Every painful situation you've gone through is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The pain you experience today equips you for the challenges you'll face tomorrow. When life knocks you down, when setbacks feel overwhelming, that pain is actually preparing you for a greater comeback. It's teaching you to endure, to fight, and to rise. This is why pain is necessary. Without it, you remain untested, unproven, and unready for the life you dream of living. But when you face pain head-on, when you stop running from it, something shifts. You begin to see it not as the enemy, but as an ally. You begin to realize that the very thing you tried to avoid is the thing that's going to elevate you to the next level. Pain refines you, pain transforms you, pain pushes you into becoming the best version of yourself. So the next time you feel that discomfort, the next time you want to quit, remember this. Pain is not there to destroy you, it's there to grow you. It's there to push you beyond the limits you thought you had. It's there to test your resolve, to strengthen your spirit, and to shape your destiny. And the more you embrace it, the stronger you will become. Pain is the price of growth, and it is a price worth paying. Because on the other side of that pain lies the life you've always wanted, the dreams you've been chasing, and the person you were always meant to be. Don't run from it, walk through it, face it, embrace it. Because pain is not the end, it's the pathway to everything you've ever dreamed of. Discipline is the dividing line between those who dream about success and those who actually achieve it. Everyone has doubts, everyone faces fear, and everyone experiences the temptation to give in to laziness. But what separates the winners from the losers, the strong from the weak, is not who feels the most confident or who has the most talent. It's who has the discipline to keep going when emotions are pulling them in the opposite direction. Discipline is the choice to show up even when you don't feel like it. It's the decision to act when your mind is filled with doubt. It's the voice inside you that says, I don't care how I feel, I'm doing it anyway. Doubt is one of the strongest forces that can hold you back. It whispers in your ear that you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes, that failure is inevitable. Doubt convinces you to delay, to overthink, to hesitate. And the longer you listen to it, the stronger it becomes. But here's the truth. Doubt only has power when you give it power. It's not the doubt itself that stops you. It's the moment you choose to believe it. Discipline is the antidote to that poison. Discipline says, I hear the doubt, but I won't let it decide my actions. The most successful people in the world are not those who had no doubts, but those who acted despite them. Kobe Bryant didn't feel motivated every single day to practice, to train, to push himself beyond exhaustion. Oprah Winfrey didn't always feel certain that her risks would pay off. The people we look up to, the ones who inspire us, felt the same fear and doubt you feel. The difference is they didn't allow those feelings to dictate their choices. They leaned on discipline, on the commitment they made to themselves and their goals. They chose consistency over comfort, persistence over procrastination, and discipline over doubt. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. At first, it may feel difficult. You may struggle to keep promises to yourself, to follow through when your emotions are screaming at you to quit. But over time, every small act of discipline compounds. Each time you push through doubt and act anyway, you reinforce a habit. That habit builds momentum, and that momentum becomes unstoppable. Eventually, discipline becomes part of who you are. You don't have to negotiate with yourself anymore. You just do what needs to be done. Think about it this way. Emotions are unreliable. They fluctuate constantly. One day you wake up motivated, the next day you don't. If you base your actions on how you feel, your life will be inconsistent. Some days you'll move forward, and other days you'll stall or regress. But if you base your actions on discipline, on a decision you've made in advance, you create stability. You don't wait to feel like doing the work. You do the work because it's who you are, because it's what you've committed to, and because you know that consistency builds greatness. Self-discipline is not about perfection, it's about persistence. You don't have to win every battle with doubt, but you have to win enough of them to keep moving forward. You might fall short some days, you might give in to laziness or fear at times, but discipline means you get back up, you refocus, and you recommit. Winners are not perfect, they are relentless. They refuse to let setbacks or doubt define their future. What's powerful about discipline is that it doesn't just silence doubt in the moment, it transforms how you see yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, every time you follow through on your commitments, you build trust with yourself. That trust becomes confidence. Instead of relying on fleeting motivation, you begin to rely on your own consistency. You start to see yourself as someone who doesn't quit, someone who doesn't give in, someone who keeps pushing no matter how hard it gets. That identity shift is what makes you unstoppable. Consider this: when you look back on your life, what will you regret more? The times you acted in spite of doubt, or the times you let doubt control you? You'll never regret the moments you pushed through, the times you kept going, even when you were scared or uncertain. But you will regret the times you let opportunities slip, because you listened to your emotions instead of your discipline. Discipline ensures you don't live with those regrets. The path to greatness will never feel easy. You will never feel perfectly ready. Doubt will always find a way to creep in. But discipline gives you the strength to act in the face of that doubt. It's about choosing growth over comfort, consistency over excuses, action over hesitation. Discipline is not glamorous, and it's not always celebrated. But it's the foundation of every achievement, the backbone of every success story, and the reason some people rise while others fall behind. The question you must ask yourself is simple. Are you going to let doubt decide your future, or are you going to let discipline guide you there? Every day you are faced with that choice, and every day the decision you make builds the life you are living. Choose discipline, choose persistence, choose to act not because you feel like it, but because it's what your dreams demand of you. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Without it, doubt wins. With it, you win. Life is shaped by the decisions you make, and one of the most powerful decisions you'll ever make is the choice to step into your own power. Every day, you are given opportunities to either rise above your emotions and fears or remain trapped by them. The difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one isn't talent, luck, or even opportunity. It's the decision to claim your strength and act on it. Greatness doesn't come by accident. It comes when you decide that no matter what you feel, no matter what doubts creep in, no matter how heavy the weight of life feels, you will not back down. You are not defined by your emotions. You are not defined by your failures. You are not defined by your weakest moments. What truly defines you is what you decide to do when those moments come. Everyone feels fear. Everyone feels doubt. Everyone feels like quitting at some point. But not everyone makes the decision to rise above those feelings. Not everyone chooses to stand tall when it's easier to crumble. That choice is what separates the strong from the weak, the leaders from the followers, and the great from the average. At some point, you have to draw a line in the sand and say enough. Enough letting fear dictate your life, enough allowing doubt to control your choices, enough letting temporary emotions determine your destiny. That line in the sand is a decision that you are no longer going to be a prisoner of weakness, but a master of strength. And the moment you make that decision, your life begins to change. Weakness will always try to call you back. It will whisper, take the easy way out, avoid the discomfort, wait until tomorrow. Weakness will always present you with excuses, reasons to quit, and rationalizations for why you should stay small. But you don't have to listen. You can choose discipline over excuses. You can choose courage over fear. You can choose growth over comfort. Every time you make that choice, you step deeper into your power, and that power compounds over time. The truth is, no one else can make this decision for you. People can inspire you, they can motivate you, they can encourage you, but at the end of the day, it comes down to you. You are the one who decides if you'll stand or fall. You are the one who decides if you'll take the risk or stay safe. You are the one who decides if you'll let your emotions hold you hostage, or if you'll break free and rise above them. That decision is yours alone, and that's what makes it so powerful. Think about your life right now. How many times have you let fear hold you back? How many opportunities have you let pass because doubt whispered louder than courage? How many moments of growth have you avoided because you chose comfort instead of discipline? These are the decisions that shape a life, and if you're tired of being stuck, tired of being controlled by feelings that don't serve you, then the answer isn't to wait for change. It's to decide. Decide to step into your power, decide to rise, decide to become more. When you make that decision, everything shifts. You stop waiting for motivation because you don't need it anymore. You stop negotiating with yourself because your path is already chosen. You stop giving in to weakness because you know that every moment you refuse to quit is a moment that builds your future. You begin to live not by chance, not by emotion, but by choice. And those choices shape you into someone unshakable, someone who can't be stopped by fear or doubt. It won't be easy. Choosing strength over weakness, discipline over doubt, and courage over fear will never feel comfortable. But comfort is not what you're after. You're after growth, freedom, greatness. And those things are only found on the other side of discomfort. The life you dream of is waiting, but it's not going to come to you. You have to go to it. And the only way to get there is to make the decision to step into your power, day after day, moment after moment. Every decision you make is like a vote for the person you are becoming. Each time you choose discipline, you're voting for the stronger, braver, more capable version of yourself. Each time you push past fear, you're proving to yourself that you are more powerful than your emotions. Each time you refuse to quit, you're shaping a future that reflects your true potential. Those decisions may feel small in the moment, but over time, they build a life that is unrecognizable from the one you would have had if you kept giving in to weakness. One day, you will look back on your life. You will remember the moments when you had the chance to decide, moments when you could have quit but didn't, moments when you could have stayed small but chose to grow, moments when fear told you to stop, but you kept going. Those will be the moments you cherish most, because those are the moments that defined you. They are proof that you refuse to let your feelings dictate your destiny. The power has always been in your hands. It's not in your circumstances, not in your emotions, not in what others think of you. It's in your decisions. You have the ability to rise above weakness, to silence doubt, to step into your power and live the life you were created for. But it starts with a single choice. A choice to stop letting your feelings control you. A choice to stop making excuses. A choice to take back control of your life. So the question is simple. What will you decide? Will you continue letting fear, doubt, and weakness dictate your future? Or will you rise, take ownership of your destiny, and step into the power that has always been inside you? The choice is yours, and the moment you decide, everything changes.